Nom 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 nom.
Welcome to the June edition of Digging Up Positivity. This month we cover some animation, of course charities, and our featurette is Paco Panda from Mexico. And this episode you will have a chance to win a lovely hardcover comic book by him. How? I will explain near the end of the video, together with the announcement of the lucky winner of the fandom Blu-ray of the last episode. The Good Furry Award has announced the results for this year, and the guest of this very show is an honorable mention. However, the big winner is Cassidy Civet. A lot of people know her for her appearance in the Eurovision Song Celebration video in 2020. But she is so much more. A fantastic musician. She makes various videos about the furry fandom, sharing her insights and general being a force for good. My congratulations with this well-deserved award. Speaking of good furries, last month we had Confuzzled raising £4,320 for the Secret World Wildlife Rescue, and for our American friends that is $6,101.39. They will be with us again next year on the 27th of May till the 31st in their traditional form. One of the bigger virtual events from last month was Furality. Many critters rocked out in what can only be described as an amazing virtual convention. Besides a good time, they also managed to raise $14,649 for Save a Fox, proving that virtual conventions can pull their weight on charitable grounds as well. Every Friday, a lot of furries post fun pictures of their suit on Twitter and other platforms under hashtag FursuitFriday. But on Twitter, last month the hashtag became trending. And not just in the Netherlands, it was a lot of fun to see and a welcome change from the usual range of topics on Twitter, which are usually very Twitter. Adam Savage, known by most for the show Mythbusters. He made a bear costume to walk around on Comic Con about 5 years ago. But he decided to rebuild the bear's head. And in the end it really reminded me of Bear in the Big Blue House, which is not a bad thing at all. Plus the dancing really looks awesome. Not that menacing though, don't you think?
I know, he's not as menacing as I was hoping, but he certainly is adorable. This is a hot costume.
While Adam loves to dance, some do more in their fursuit, others swim like Fynn. But do beware that the pool can get full of fluff. Others do rock climbing like Frisky the hyena, or even skydiving like Kinora from Germany. I myself have bungee jumped as a Meerkat, which was quite the experience, especially with my fear of height. But, you know, I gotta face my fears to get rid of it. Oh no. In Scotland, sea eagles have been spotted around Loch Lomond. One might say that they have been spotted there before, but that was over a century ago. They were also known as white-tailed eagles, and the pair was spotted while they were searching for a new nest. Paul Roberts, the Nature Scott operation manager, said that this is the latest chapter in a continuous success story of sea eagle conservation. And in Colorado, wolf pups have been spotted. Local officials started to track the wolf couple John and Jane, and much to their delight they spotted them with 3 wolf pups in Jackson County, about 150 miles northwest of Denver. This has been the first sighting of pups since the 1940s. While we found those critters, sometimes the critters find us. In Beaverton, USA, one cat often brings things home from the hunt, like gloves, masks, purses, up to a point that her servant, cats do not have owners, had to put up a sign where people could get their stolen goods back. It did not take long before people started to make pictures, and her cat became known all over the world. While some say she shamed the cat, as a former cat owner, I don't think they will care much about that. After all, they are cats. Despite the many conventions slowly gearing back to regular conventions, virtual spaces are here to stay. But how to upload new models to VR chat? How does Unity even work? Laru the Meerkat has tried his best to explain this complex matter on how to properly do this. The link, of course, is in the description below or in the corner. One of the more popular zoo simulators out there, Planet Zoo, has released their Africa pack, containing, of course, us meerkats. I am quite curious to see how this will all work out. They sure look lovely, however I don't think I will play the game much and will just stare at the screen, zooming in on those little diggers. When Beastars got introduced to many of us in the West through Netflix, it took our community by storm. Many were hooked and eager to see what would happen next on Cheriton Academy. But then it became quiet. However, recently it was announced that Season 2 will hit Netflix on July 15th. I am ever so excited. PT Yindi has released an amazing animation about two critters digging up tasty, juicy bones. It's an homage to classic animation, and the music just glued me through the screen all the way to the lovely punchline in the end. Be sure to check out more of their work on their YouTube and on their Twitter, both linked all around. One of the better comics featuring Antros, in my opinion, is Blacksad. Besides the engaging storylines, every panel is truly a work of art. I am glad to say that they have announced a new story. Not much is known yet, but John Blacksad will return on November 1st. This month, with Digging Up Positivity, we have a very special guest from Mexico. Paco Panda, one of the most well-known furs from Mexico. And last month, I saw this wonderful piece going past my timeline, World Without Borders, and I got reminded again I wanted to talk to Paco. So Paco, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. No, it is a big honor for me to be invited on your show, Tavo. I've been watching your content for a really long time now, and I love what you do, so I don't know, I feel like you are a great example to follow in this community, and I feel very honored to be here.
I think we have a mutual fan moment here. I honestly did not expect this.
We can be fanboying each other.
Yes, indeed. But when it comes down to this, you are from the Mexican furry fandom, and while of course we got some beautiful insights now and then through you and through Majira, what is one of the most striking differences between the Mexican furry fandom and the Western furry fandom?
Well, there are some few differences. It's not like a huge cultural difference, because of course many of the things that we have reached in the furry community here in Mexico are mostly copied by the American one, but giving our own feeling, our own touch of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest difference that I could notice in the Mexican fandom comparing to the North American or European community, it was mostly like 10 years ago, around 2008, that it was when I joined. The first of all was that there were not fursuits at all. The first fursuits began to appear in 2011. And those who had a fursuit in Mexico in that year could still be counted with one hand. Maybe we were like 3, 4, maybe 5. And all of them were self-made suits, mine included.
All right. Well, but yeah, 10 years ago, it really sounds like such a long time. But 10 years ago, that is 2011, something like that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, it was in 2011.
Yeah, Tabo I got in 2012. It's really weird to see that the furry fandom, or at least the fursuit community, started a bit later. But from what I've seen at various Mexican conventions so far, the fursuits there, they look lovely, absolutely.
Yeah, that was also very recent. The first furry convention that we had here in Mexico, it was in 2018, so only 3 years ago.
Okay.
Because another big difference is that there were no furry conventions at all here. The large events here were the Fur Meets, which were national meetings attended by furries from all over Mexico. Some meets were in Puebla, others in Guanajuato or Monterrey. But there were two Fur Meets that were hosted every year during the summer. That were the Fur Meet in Guadalajara, which is where I live, and the Furry Summer in Mexico City. These were nothing special than meetings with a schedule of activities in different public areas in the city, like parks, forests, malls, restaurants, with different activities.
One of the things, though, that comes to mind when I think about it, a fursuit is warm, very warm. And
Yes.
Mexican summers do not have a reputation to be very cool.
No,
Like that, yeah.
no, definitely not. But I think it is the little sacrifice that we do for being happy.
The things we do for love, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, go on.
At first, I thought that was the reason we were not fursuits at all here in Mexico, because yes, here is very hot. But when we started this culture of having fursuits here in the community, we really don't mind. Of course, we follow the rules for not dying inside the fursuit, for drinking
I
water,
think that's
taking
a
rest.
very good rule. I prefer not to die in fursuit either. I think that's
Yes.
yes. I think we can safely agree on that. That's a common ground we have, absolutely. But with this, I would like to ask you, what's your favorite moment in the fandom so far?
My favorite moment. There have been so many wonderful moments that I have lived in the fandom that it's
Name a few
that it-
highlights.
yeah. One of the things I'm more grateful with the fandom is to be able to meet people from so many parts of the world who have visited me, and I'm able to show my country, and also that I've been able to visit them and know places that I had no idea I was going to know. But also, having been able to directly help amazing people who are committed to animals, such as those from the UMA, the association that we have helped in charities during Confuror. Confuror is my local convention.
Ah, yes, I've heard of it. And also, wasn't it that lovely artist that was helping Bay and Tar, the two otters?
Ah, yes, Almita. Yes.
Almita.
Yes, also she's a wonderful person. I know her. She's very sweet, and yeah, she's always prioritizing all the animal helping more than her own work.
The amount of work that she has not just done for Bay and Tar, but also for the raccoon with a broken leg is just amazing.
Oh,
it's
yes.
so inspiring. It's just wow. But let's go back to you. I mean, you have these little highlights, but then, of course, when thinking back of those, do you have a bucket list, things that you want to do in the future when the pandemic is over, the flight restrictions are lifted, you finally have your freedom back? What is your bucket list?
For sure, I have a bucket list. I'm very proud that many of the things that I had in my bucket list are already checked. But many are still there and others are appearing. Some of the things I really want to do, it may sound very silly, but it's like being able to go to Disney World with my boyfriend. We have been together for 10 years. and we haven't been able to travel to United States together due to American visa issues. But I know that one day we will be able to visit the mouse and his castle together.
That would be a great. And in the worst case, you can always come to Disneyland Paris, and I'll show you around, or one of the other famous European theme parks.
Yes, please. Go in. Yes, another. Talking about back to my favorite moments in the fandom, another great moment is being interviewed by Tabo. Oh my god.
Oh. You truly are a flatterer. I'm now blushing. Oh.
Oh wait, another. I'm just thinking about another thing that I have in my bucket list that is very important. I don't know why I hadn't thought about this before. Is able to take care of a panda bear in China. I know that it is possible. I've seen videos. I've researched a lot about it. It is in Sichuan, and I would love to experience it someday.
Well, maybe the guest we had last month from Global Furry Television might have some contacts in China, but I believe that must be like the nirvana for you, meeting and taking care of a panda. I took care of a couple of meerkats. I met them in London, and they're let's say that these were very well behaved for meerkats, because meerkats in real life have a little bit of a reputation to be rascals, so to speak. While panda bears, every time that you see something of panda bears, they tend to goof around, literally.
Yes.
Which is adorable.
Yes, it is adorable. Yes, I've seen so many videos of zookeepers that are dealing with baby pandas.
When we come down to these wonderful experiences that we all have in the furry fandom, if there is someone who is new to the furry fandom that just rolls into this, do you have any recommendations for them?
Yeah, I would tell them that be very open-minded, that the cultural diversity that this fandom presents us is so wide and rich that it is wonderful to take advantage of it, to learn, to understand people, and to make many friends from anywhere in the world. And also I would say that be authentically yourself. You don't have to act like others or pretend to be someone you are not. Because also being yourself and honest with yourself, you attract more honest people and people who fit very well with you.
Yeah, like-minded people.
Yes. And the friendship that can be made in this community can be amazing. I feel that the furry fandom is the best place to be yourself without any fear. It can sound silly, but we introduce ourselves in the form of a cartoon animal with names that we invent ourselves with a personality that we idealize ourselves in our head. Therefore, that mask that we wear with the society to pretend to be normal doesn't exist anymore, and we end up being how we authentically would like to be, how we would like to others to see us, and ironically we end up being ourselves and knowing the other members of the community in a way that probably many others in their daily lives wouldn't know. So don't be afraid of being judged. Don't judge others. Accept the diversity of thoughts and opinions, and let's help each other to survive in this world.
Exactly. And the fun part is, though, that especially in the early days, some people I knew for years, and I had no clue what they would look like. It was a pleasure finally speaking to you over Discord, even though, and I do hope that I can see you on a convention in the future. Thank you very much for being with us, and with that, I wish you a lovely day, and of course, stay awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. Really, I appreciate it.
Paco Panda has been so kind to provide a book from his successful Kickstarter campaign. It's a comic about friendship and brotherhood. All comics are wonderfully drawn and available in hardcover. Would you like to have one? Respond in the comments that you'd like one, and in the next episode I will pick a random one from the comments. Last month several critters in my comment section told me they would like to have a Blu-ray of the fandom. I picked a random nose out of them, and Nathan Bullock is the lucky one. Please do use the contact form in the description so we can take it from there. Thank you very much to stay around till the very end. I could not have done it without you all, and a special thanks goes to my channel sponsors both on Patreon and on Subscribestar. Cosmic with a K, Els Dekkers, Falconeo, Hanzana, Ishnula, Kitako, Tentru McNally, Taros and Scorechaser. We will return on the 21st. Thank you all so much, and of course all the hugs. Especially to all the Meerkats, because next week it's World Meerkat Day! Woohoo!
Hey, 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 hey.